Wax Poetic.
Just say no to family values.
It's humiliating enough being a poet.
Gotta move the crew.
Wax Poetic.
But what I can't stand is people who talk about listening to jazz in their poems.
He screams his poems, spitting out the words like they were teeth he no longer needed.
In the distance still, Ophidian freight trains wail, grinding their way along long tracks paved with the skulls of dead magi.
You're listening to Wax Poetic on Co-op Radio 102.7 FM.
So what if I write a poem like a song?
Good afternoon and welcome to another edition of Wax Poetic here on Co-op Radio. I'm one of your hosts this afternoon, R.C. Weslowski.
Good afternoon. I'm the other host, Francis Graham.
And our guest this afternoon is New Westminster's Poet Laureate, Candice James. Hi, Candice.
Welcome.
Hi, you guys. Nice to be here.
Nice to have you here. What we usually do is get our guest right away, jumping into something of their work and sharing that, and then we chat afterwards.
Okay, well, since I am the Poet Laureate of New Westminster, I usually try and start everything out with something about New Westminster. I don't usually rhyme, but sometimes I do, and I thought I would start with a rhymer called Downtown New Westminster. Downtown New Westminster asks you to dance. Come, walk her streets, and perhaps, perchance, you'll feel her magic, fall under her trance. She's one special lady full of romance. The gateway to downtown is Hyack Square, with heritage buildings on display there. Antique architecture beyond compare, and quaint little shops nestled everywhere. Dreams come alive on Columbia Street and move to the groove of the city's heartbeat. A beautiful rhythm under the feet, friendly smiling faces to meet and greet. The bustling boardwalk at New Westminster Quay beckons with treasures, a great sight to see. Downtown is filled with old history and lore, festivals, car shows, restaurants, and more. The pleasant aroma of coffee shops, the friendly chatter heard at the bus stops, the river's whisper and cool moonlight walks, the evening breezes and soft twilight talks. Downtown is filled with hospitality, moments to savor. We'll give you the key. Come visit us and make a memory. Downtown New Westminster is the place to be.
Nice.
That's the place to be, baby.
So how did you go about getting to be the Poet Laureate for New West?
Well, I had a gentleman that lived across the hall from me that actually told me, oh, hey, you write poetry, why don't you apply for that? I said I didn't even know there was applications being asked for, so I went onto the website, got the application, adhered to the criteria, sent it in, got lucky, and got the post.
Now, is this the first time New West has had a Poet Laureate, or?
No, I'm the third.
Oh, okay.
The first was Edna Anderson, and then Dawn Benson, and now me.
And how long is your term?
3 years.
And did you is this the first year, I guess, 2000?
Yeah, 2010 is the first year, although I didn't really start till the middle of June. But I'm assuming that it will probably end at the end of 2012, I would think, 10, 11, and 12.
So what are your duties as a Poet Laureate then?
Well, I asked them actually the same question, like, what do I do? So they said, basically, you are the ambassador, the multicultural ambassador, and the literary ambassador for the city, which I really can't see, but I guess I am. So they basically said when they asked me to write a poem about something that I will do it. So I've done 2 for them so far. They commissioned me to do one for the HMCS Discovery when they did the award Freedom of the City to them. And I didn't read that one, I just did it.
Yeah.
And then the last one I did was November 11th. They commissioned me to do a poem for that, and I did one called The Debt. And it was actually very nice because I got to speak right after the Duke of Westminster from England, and the armories were absolutely chock full, and it was a really, really nice experience. I truly enjoyed it.
Are you asked to go out and run workshops or go into schools and that sort of thing as a Poet Laureate?
No, they haven't asked me, but I've taken the bull by the horns. I got a hold of the school system and told them that I would be available. And I went actually last week to Richard McBride's school and read to some young kids, and wow, that was a fantastic day. These young kids, they just eat it up. And they had little poems they'd written for me to take home.
Beforehand or during
Beforehand.
Oh, that's sweet.
Yeah, so it was very nice.
Cool.
Very inspiring, too, I can imagine.
Very. And, some of them are really talented. Like, I couldn't believe, some of them are so good. Just amazing at that young age, and they're so interested.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They haven't had it culled out of them yet, Whoa. Candice's phone is here along with her. I was excited.
Edith Piaf calling.
Yeah, there you go. We might have just talked to whoever it is. Let's get him on the air. Who is it?
Oh, I sent a busy signal, so now I'm going to stick it on, what do you call that?
Silent mode.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Can you believe I forgot to do that?
That's all right. It's good sound, we're
but
on radio.
But I love that song. That's La Vie en Rose.
Yeah. Can you sing it?
No, I don't speak French.
Well,
I'm multicultural ambassador, but I'm not multilingual.
Yeah.
Hey, but as an ambassador, you need your theme music.
That's true, and I'm going to use that one.
That's right.
It's set in stone now.
Sweet. So how about some more work?
Okay, just before I actually wanting to promote my new book.
For sure.
But just before I read from that, I wanted to say something kind of interesting. Lately, for some unknown reasons, I've really gotten into writing sonnets.
Okay.
And I never would have thought I could love doing it as much as I do. So I'm going to read a sonnet or two for you.
Okay.
And everybody out there that may be partial to a sonnet. This one is called Scarlet Knife. No amnesty within this darkened night for wounded butterfly in torn cocoon, twisting, turning in pale shaft of moonlight, abandoned, dying on a desert dune. A child of desperation racked with pain, sliding down the edge of love's jagged blade, heart trapped in a world of relentless rain, where mortal wounds and old scars never fade, cut by the sharp tip of love's scarlet knife. A bloodied heart, murdered inspiration, ebbs like a last gasp breath that clings to life. There be no such thing as consolation. Heavy with hard lies and broken blessings, love takes her final leave on tainted wings.
Wow. Screw you, Shakespeare.
That's the heavy side of me, but I love writing sonnets. At first, I did them only just to get into structure, because I'm so free verse. I thought, I got to try and get myself structured, to try and find some structure. So I started writing them. The first ones were real lousy. But as I continued, I got to love writing them. It's actually my favorite form of writing now, although probably not much in demand.
So you've got another one? You said you were going to read two, or?
Yeah, I guess I will read it.
And then we can talk about your book.
Okay, this one's, it will make it self-evident. I won't even tell you what it's about, because I didn't do that on the last one, so why change my style now? This is called Hollow Man Burning.
Oh, nice.
The hard-edged rumor of impending death, foreshadowing the tragedy at hand. The heavy, muted sound of bated breath. Acrid wishes reign over Shadowland. A paper king trades places with a clown. An alcoholic drunkard on the town. A bar stool for a throne, smoke for a crown. And every drink he takes just takes him down. He can't escape. He has nowhere to go. Imprisoned in this nightmare of the dead. A mad fool ruling kingdoms wrapped with woe. Encapsulated in a web of dread. Destitute monarch dangling on a wire. Hollow man burning in alcohol's fire.
Oh, that's all. I love that.
It's just, there's something about a sonnet, you can really get into things, and you don't have to have your sentences all, you just have to have the 10 beats per line and your scheme, your rhyme.
What is the rhyme scheme?
It's A, B, A, B, C, D, C, D, E, F, E, F, G, G.
Wow. That's, I really like that one a lot.
Yeah, it's when you start, you would love writing sonnets. Once you get into it, it's like it imprisons you. You got to keep doing them.
Yeah, you could just flow on top of the rhythm almost.
Yeah, it's
nice.
So I know why Shakespeare wrote so many.
Yeah. Wow. I love that. That was nice. What's that one called? Oh, you told me. What's it called?
Hollow Man Burning.
Hollow Man Burning. Cool.
Yeah.
Our guest this afternoon is Candice James, and she is the Poet Laureate of New Westminster until 2012, until the world ends. And you're listening to her here on Co-op Radio 102.7 FM, and our show is Wax Poetic. And Candice, you were saying, not today, but you've got a brand new book out. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yes, the book is called Inner Heart, A Journey. And it's a book basically 95% love poetry, and the reason for that being, I did a test on the internet on free ebooks where I put up 4 different types of poetry at different times, and the last one I put up was strictly love poetry, and it out-downloaded all the ones that were put up previously, like 10 to 1. So I thought, well...
if I want to sell my book.
And this is what the general public that aren't poets are downloading. So I thought, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to do it. Because it's a long time since I've ever seen a book of poetry come out that's strictly love poems. So I went through my scads and piles of poems and didn't like a lot of them, so wrote new ones.
Nice.
And then put this together.
So let's hear some. Again, what's it called? The title?
It is called Inner Heart, A Journey. So I guess since I said it's a love poem, I better start off with a real lovey-dovey one. I was going to... Okay, here's a really nice lovey-dovey one. Everybody wants to feel this way, don't they? This is called Clearly. Man of 1,000 eyes and 1,000,000 smiles, I have searched the universe for you. I've looked for you over a multitude of miles, on endless highways and hidden byways, chasing your essence from ship to shore, where dreams and magic and ghosts whirl and swirl in a sea of hope. When our eyes burned through each other, we both realized we were never strangers. Our paths had crossed over and over again. When the oceans were streams and the mountains were valleys, when dreams were dust and glory, emerging into this destiny we were destined for. Man of 1,000 eyes and 1,000,000 smiles, I've searched for you everywhere. When my eyes found you, I saw myself clearly.
Beautiful.
That's a lovey-dovey poem. And I have other ones that are, well, yeah, this one's more of a not quite so like in-your-face love poem.
Or in your eye.
Yeah, it was like a big pizza pie hits you in the eye. That's amore. This one's called Glossy Nights, and a little prelude to this one. I was sitting on my balcony in New West. I'm up on the 10th floor, and it was a rainy night, and all the lights, everything looks so much nicer when it's got that gloss to it from the rain.
Luminescence.
Beautiful, beautiful looking. So I wrote this poem about it, and it was in August. A warm midnight drizzle, a wind-blown mind sizzle, the gloss of the traffic lights glistening, streaming down like Neapolitan matchsticks onto the rain-slicked streets of this yawning town. Headlights shimmer like slabs of halogen butter, skating on rivers of slick black pavement, shooting like arrows plucked from their quivers. A soft, picturesque night, shot silk stars twinkling, a mood ring painting, a moon-dusted city with ethereal atmosphere. The streetlights burn soft amber, silent lanterns chasing shadows down the quay to the pier, where the river gently rocks, but never sleeps. Nursing secrets she sequesters, hides away, always keeps. A midnight warm nuzzle, glossy nights like this, a mind-blown wind puzzle. Sealed with a kiss, reflections of you creep into my eyes. Then falls out a tear dripping with sighs. An anachronism unto myself and prisoner of yesterday's kiss. I live for the icy touch and warm breath of your ghost on glossy nights like this.
And you're saying that wasn't so lovey-dovey? Oh. That went straight to the heart.
Yeah.
Sincerely, that was beautiful. Thank you so much.
I'm so glad you liked it, Francis.
Yeah.
How long have you lived in New Westminster?
I was born there.
Yeah, born and raised, or did you
Born
move
and
away?
raised, and then I did move down to the States for a short time, and then I took the big trip over to Surrey for a while. And then I thought, I got to cross that big river again, and I came back to New West. When you're born in a city and you grew up there, it's always going to be home to you.
Yeah.
It's always a part of you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Always.
So tell me a little bit about New Westminster, because in my mind, New Westminster gets a bad rap, sort of, same thing that Surrey does, like, the jokes about New West and Surrey and all that sort of stuff. What do you love about it?
I love many things about it, but really what I like about it is it's a small town feeling in a growing big city.
Mm-hmm.
People are very friendly. And when you walk down the street, you can say hi. They'll say hi. Everything's friendly. And Queen's Park, of course, is absolutely gorgeous. I don't know if you've ever been there in the summer. It's just beautiful. Moody Park, they've got the new youth center now. Everything is, when it rains there, it's more wet, glossy, and rainy and pretty than any other place in the world. When it's sun shines there, it's brighter. It's just beautiful. And the quay and the river, the seagulls, the promenade, Columbia Street.
You could go on and on.
I could go on and on.
Are they getting better and better at dealing with the crime around those sky trains and all that sort of stuff?
Yes, a lot better. They've got committees for community and social issues that are addressing that. So things are coming together, and the city really wants to become a major player in all areas of literary work.
Yeah.
So they're really coming to the forefront on the literary.
Yeah. Well, you run a couple different series, or help with one, and then run another one, right? Can you tell us about
basically,
that?
I started two of them. One is Poetic Justice. It's readings, weekly readings on Sundays, and open mic. And the other one is Slam Central. Now, I basically started it, but Zach Jackson Nice is the fellow that's the slam master. So he really does a lot of the work on it. I'd say I'm probably the paperwork.
You're the pretty face.
Yes, sorry, Zach. Yeah, no, he's a very good at what he does, and he's bringing a lot of people to the slams, and he's just a real great guy. And we're hoping to. We're running right now every 2 weeks. Mm-hmm. We're hoping we can make it every week if it continues. But we've got to fill the place. It'll hold 80 to 90 people.
And where is it at?
Heritage Grill at 447 Columbia Street in New Westminster, right next door to Columbian Station.
Okay.
So you get off the SkyTrain and walk out the front door, take about 12 steps, turn right, and you're in the Heritage Grill, and it's in the back room there.
Okay. And the other reading is Poetic Justice, and it's the Renaissance books, right?
Yes, and it's about a block and a half from SkyTrain. You pass the Heritage Grill, and then you turn right at 6th Street and go up about a block and half a block, really.
Yeah. Now, was that something you had in mind, starting these things because you were Poet Laureate? Or
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I basically, if I wasn't Poet Laureate, I don't think I would have started them. But I'm taking the job very seriously. I want to bring poetry to the forefront in New Westminster, every kind of poetry, and if there's any other literary things I can bring to the forefront, I will, because I think New Westminster needs that. Mm-hmm. You know, Vancouver's always been the place. And so the people from Maple Ridge and Surrey and these other places, it's harder for them to get into Vancouver. It would be so nice for them to have something right in New West.
Yeah.
So I think we're hopefully going to garner a lot of support.
Yeah.
You've been very supportive.
I know, I've tried to be.
You have been extremely supportive. You've come to both a couple of times. That's fabulous. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Yeah.
So let us hear some more poetry. Our guest this afternoon, Candice James, the Poet Laureate of New Westminster, British Columbia. And you're listening to her and her work on Co-op Radio 102.7 FM, and our show is Wax Poetic.
All right, now let's find something that's... You know, we all kind of get into relationships that aren't good for us, but sometimes sometimes they're the most exciting. And after that excitement, we go into other relationships, but we just sort of forget those exciting nights. So this one was called Broken Too Long to Be Fixed. The sun is trying to break through the clouds in search of a brand new moment, and I'm trying to dance with invisible diamonds on a sea of glistening dreams. It's a new dance with new music that I can't seem to comprehend. I'm not used to the gentle steps, the tender twists and turns so easy to navigate. But alas, I've been broken too long to be fixed. Bring back the tidal waves and savage storms. Bring back the leaky boats with broken oars. Bring back the tattered sail and the cracked mast. Close up all the safe harbors to seek repairs in. Launch me back into your stormy sea of shipwrecked dreams, and smile for me one last time as I embrace the drowning. I've been broken too long to be fixed.
Wow.
Yeah,
that's great. It's weird how we do that. Some people do that. You get into a nice relationship, one that's calm and loving and all that sort of stuff, and for whatever reason, part of you can't handle that and wants to go back to that other wildness or something.
The terrible stuff. Yeah,
it's crazy.
I think we tend to romanticize and remember the good things and kind of put the bad things to the side.
Yeah.
So it's the thing of saying, I got to remember the bad stuff. I got to remember the bad stuff.
And if I may say, sometimes what we fear most of is what we need most of.
Yeah.
Maybe it is that calm, that serenity.
Interesting you would say that, because I was reading a book, and I've made this my catchphrase now because I love it.
Mm-hmm.
The main quote in it was, "You get what you need, and you need what you get."
That's it.
And isn't that true? I love it.
Yeah, that's to the point.
Yeah, it really
you
is.
What you get.
We don't realize it, but we do get that.
Yeah, if only you could realize it at the time, then you wouldn't fight it as much.
Exactly, you've got it.
I was actually looking for one here that I just hate it when I can't find things I want immediately. But oh well, it was called "Once Upon a Time in France," and I actually quite liked it. Oh, here it is, 22. Gotta love it. Now, what I like about this is I've never been to France. So this is all imaginary. I do a lot of imaginary stuff to sort of think, oh, this is what it would be like. The rain falls softly through the semi-bare trees, whispering kisses into the stream. As it pirouettes and eddies, an unharnessed ballerina, it dances and meanders under the run-down wooden bridge where the lovers stand. They stand on new ground tonight, bathed in sacred starlight, dusting emotion's inner edges. This was never new ground to us when we painted the new moon of another night higher than it ever hung before. We wrestled the angels for a deeper touch of love, for a stronger sense of truth, for a truer sense of magic. It slipped through our hands like sand, like quicksand, quick. Like sand, gritty, abrasive, raw, opening like a fresh wound, then scarring forever the new ground, never to be new to us again. Tonight, the rain falls in France, a little less softly through the barren trees, whispering laments into the stream as it struggles and breaks. A fragile antique mirror, it stumbles and trips and licks at the wet, slick wooden bridge our teardrops still stand on. Tonight, haloed in my loneliness, I remember another night, once upon a time in France, when we painted the new moon higher than it ever hung before, and I realize we'll paint it nevermore.
And you've never been?
Never been to France.
Wow.
But I've always wanted to go, but I don't like flying.
Oh, no?
So I'm kind of grounded here.
Well, for someone that's never been, that was absolutely beautiful.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome.
Now, that's from this afternoon. That's 2 or 3 poems that you've invoked the rain. Is that for any particular reason? Like you really like the rain, or the image of the rain, or
I do.
Is that
And funnily enough, my granddaughter and I are the only two in the family that love the rain. I'll pick her up from school and we'll be going home. She'll say, "It's raining, Nana. Don't you just love it?" And I say, "I sure do, Emily." Nobody likes it but her and I.
Oh, well, I love it.
I like the rain. There's something about it.
I like the sound of it.
Yes. Yeah, it whispers to you.
I find it cleansing myself, the rain.
Yes.
I mean, coming from Ontario, I don't miss the snow in the least, but I hear people complaining about the rain out here, and it doesn't bother me in the least.
Yeah, I know. I've heard a lot of people complain about the rain, but I like it. Well, mind you, I was born here, so...
Yeah, I know. Maybe that's sort of the thing.
You born here, too?
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're used to it, and it's part of our lives.
Yeah. So we don't have much time left, so why don't you give us a quick rundown of where people can get your book. Okay. I know I wrote it down here, but...
Yeah.
Or you wrote it down, but I want you to say it.
Yeah, but I better read it.
Okay.
My memory's not that good.
All right.
Actually, it is. You can get it at two places. If you want to buy it physically in the store right now, it's at Renaissance Books in New West, which is at 43 6th Street. And it's probably going to be going into Black Bond Books, too. I've just got a little bit of contract stuff we're going to be working out. And Silver Bow Publishing is the publisher, and you can purchase it online on the website. And that is if anybody wants it from the website, get your pen. This is a long one. www.wix.com/Silver Bow Publishing /Silver-Bow-Publishing. A lot to remember there, but you can probably...
or they can just get a hold of you if they want.
They can, actually, and they can email me at saddlestone@shaw.ca, or I'm going to do something that's going to sound foolish here, but I will give my phone number. 778-322-1131 if you want to phone, and you can even buy one right off of me, and I'll personally autograph it. And they're reasonable, $12.99, 100 pages of poetry. Don't think you can beat that price. It's like bargain basement discount.
Sweet. So how about we get one more poem from you, and then we can wrap up with a couple of announcements.
Okay. Now, let's see. Let's do, something that's very nice. Something that you hope life would be like. This would be a perfect life. Never ending. Of course, we'd all like to live forever, but that's not what this is about. In a breath, never ending. On a wing, ever bending. These trees have always been. Planning in the dark of a new moon before the light of day could find them, these children of a lost forest god were folding their branches in prayer when we lay down in their laps. The morning dew still clung to their leaves, shimmering like diamonds on display. An eagle glided on high descending, with snow-white feathered wing bending, in salute to this pristine dream, designed by these stately Van Gogh sentinels dressed in their shaded evergreen uniforms. Within this timeless chasm of slow-motion, unending changes, the mirror life and death, these trees remain our watchful companions. Inside these forest canyons, we breathe a sweeter breath. Tomorrow, we'll travel on until the pavement meets sand, beach, ocean, and sky. On a wave ever bending, on a beach never ending, we'll merge with our shadows and walk in the sun forever.
Lovely.
Candice James has been our guest this afternoon on Co-op Radio, Wax Poetic, 102.7 FM, or Wax Poetic on Co-op Radio. And she's been reading from her book entitled
Inner Heart, A Journey.
And available now. You can get a hold of Candice on Facebook, and she gave out her email, saddlestone at shaw.ca. Shaw.ca. Saddlestone at shaw.ca. She is the Poet Laureate of New Westminster, and it is her duty to talk to you. And she's doing a great job of promoting poetry in all its forms in New Westminster. So well done, and congratulations.
Thank you so much. It's been a thrill to be here today with both URC and you, Francis.
Thank you.
You're great
much.
hosts.
Sweet. Events coming up this evening happening at Graham House at Green College, which is 6201 Cecil Green Park Road. I don't know where that is, but it's happening tonight. Chris Hutchinson and Jay Millar are reading. It gets going at 7:30, and then coming up tomorrow, the Robson Reading Series is going on at the UBC Library Bookstore at Robson Square, the Plaza level, and readings by Andre Alexis and Harry Karlinski are happening there, and as well happening this Friday in Chilliwack It's the second or third annual, I think it's the third annual Chilliwack Poetry Slam. They're having a poetry slam out of the University College of Fraser Valley in Chilliwack, which is on Yale Road, and you can just walk into the lobby, and you're right there in the theater. Doors at 7. The show starts at 7:30. There will be an open mic if you're not interested in the competition. If you want more info, you can contact Lisa.Morey, that's Morry, at UFV.ca, and that's this coming Friday. Michael McClure is in town. San Francisco legendary poet Michael McClure will be reading this coming Friday, 8 o'clock, free, at the SFU Vancouver Downtown Harbor Center Library, 515 West Hastings. It's free, but you do need to RSVP in advance at library@sfu.ca. Library@sfu.ca if you're interested in checking out Michael McClure. Also, the Talking Stick Festival's been going on all this week, and it continues through the weekend, including the from Talking Stick to open mic happening at Café du Soleil on Friday. That is being organized by Zacchaeus Jackson, and it's going to feature a number of really cool native hip-hop artists from the east side of Vancouver, as well as some of the regulars from the Vancouver Poetry Slam scene, including Vitamin F and Chris Gilpin, as well as Zacchaeus will be performing, and Chelsea Johnson will be up there doing some singing. She's a great singer-songwriter in town. Also happening, I guess, this Sunday is another Poetic Justice.
Actually, I'm featuring.
You're featuring it.
Because it's close to Valentine's Day, and I'm going to read the love poem.
That is very smart.
Yeah.
So Poetic Justice happening at Renaissance Books, which is on 6th Street. What's the address exactly?
43 6th Street.
43 6th Street in New Westminster. This coming Monday, the Vancouver Poetry Slam is having their annual Erotica Slam. If you've got some erotic works you want to read and be in the competition, some crazy prizes, I'm sure, go to Café du Soleil this coming Monday for the Erotica Poetry Slam. Show starts at 8 o'clock. Sign up at 7. And Slam Central is next Thursday, the 17th.
Yes.
At the Heritage Grill, and you can go check out. It's a poetry slam in New Westminster at the Heritage Grill as well. It's also Twisted Poets, which will be featuring Catherine Owen and CJ Leon on the 17th as well, which will be at the Prop House Cafe on Venable Street, and Catherine will be our guest next Wednesday here on Wax Poetic. But that's it for this Wednesday. Our guest today, Candice James. Thanks for being here, Candice, very much.
Thank you, guys.
And that's pretty much it for now. Francis, would you like to say goodbye?
Goodbye, one and all, and thank you again, Candice. It was a pleasure.
Thank you.
Thanks for being here, and we'll talk with you next week. No apologies necessary. It's coming up next. Peace.
You've been listening to Wax Poetic on Co-op Radio, 102.7 FM.
So what? So what? So what?